We are continuing our Christian Cognitive Behaviour series on our intentions, or our behaviours that come, and how we process life in our actions. Now, in the last video we looked at our reacting to our circumstances and our emotional responses to our circumstances, and today we're going to follow that through with a cross link to our other video series where we were looking at understanding. You see, our actions reveal what our true core beliefs are. It's what we do that shows what we truly believe. So, there's lots of people out there who say things like, do what I say, not what I do, but that's a little bit false, because what they do reflects what they actually believe. We put our actions, our muscle effort into the things that matter the most, that are more critical to us. And even if we say other things, what we actually do reflects our core beliefs. Our words aren't always in line with that. So today, I want you to think about those situations where your actions can give you a little bit of a hint at those core beliefs that you may have written down if you've done the core beliefs series, the ones that we did on understanding. It gives you a clue to where your core beliefs lie. So, what happens when you find yourself doing things that is surprising? You think, where did that come from? That wasn't what I intended to do, and that's what I ended up doing. Okay, that sometimes happens. I mean, I've even been surprised by situations where somehow or other I ended up doing something that I never intended to do. Oftentimes, afterwards, we go into a bit of recrimination. Oh, how did I get into that situation? What was it that made me end up, speaking something that wasn't true? Or what was it that made me, say yes to someone when I actually intended to say no? These are the situations where we are able to look at those, again, with honesty, and start to process that my behaviours might tell me something. I would propose that fear is a stronger motivator for people than a lot of other emotions. And sometimes when we do something that we can't explain entirely because it doesn't fit with our core values that we, the values that we, hold highly, our character values, our integrity, our honesty, our being able to follow through, our loyalty, our, looking out for each other, those sort of core values that, you've built your life on. When we find that we didn't follow those core values in our behaviours, I would propose that sometimes it reflects that there was something else going on, and possibly fear could be the missing link. You see, sometimes when people are afraid, they do things almost instinctively. That's why we have those sort of words about, freeze and flight and fight responses. Flight and fight responses are like automatic inner responses. And sometimes when people are in a situation where they've reacted to a fear-based situation, they have let their values go out the window and have gone into a self-preservation mode. And self-preservation, where that sense of either my integrity is going to be challenged, or my personhood is being impacted, we may put something else ahead of our values. So this is that space of going, okay, what did my actions reveal about my beliefs, and what else was going on in that situation? And here the missing link is often fear. If you can think of what was it that I was afraid of, then it might give you a clue to some other core beliefs that were there about fear. So today's exercise is to recognize that sometimes we find ourselves doing things that we were surprised by, or we were maybe even ashamed by. It didn't fit in with our core values, our underlying aspects where we see our personhood showing a certain character or lack of character. And this is that space of not getting overly judgmental about yourself, but having a kindness to yourself to recognize that there might have been something else going on, and that something else was probably fear. So have a moment to think through this. Maybe write down an example of a time when you did something that you weren't expecting yourself to do. Look at what else might have been going on. See if you can identify if fear was the missing link in that situation. Maybe even write down what it was that you were afraid of. Okay, and that's it for our intentional video number 2. From Romans 12. This is in the Message translation. Love from the centre of who you are. Don't fake it. Run for dear life from evil. Hold on for dear life to good. Be good friends who love deeply. Practice playing second fiddle. Don't burn out. Keep yourself fueled and aflame. Be alert servants of the Master, cheerfully expectant. Don't quit in hard times. Pray all the harder. Help needy Christians and be inventive in hospitality. Bless your enemies. No cursing under your breath. Laugh with your happy friends when they're happy. Share tears when they're down. Get along with each other. Don't be stuck up. Make friends with nobodies. Don't be the great somebody. Don't hit back and discover beauty in everyone.